Is it? Are we live? Oh, yeah, it's live. Okay. Hello, Dragonlings. Full warning, I am really tired. I worked last night, and except for like two 30-minute power naps and a real quick 15-minute power nap just now, I haven't slept. So I'm really tired. For those who are new here, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance. I'm SD Hegyes, and I've got a guest with me. If you want to introduce yourself real quick.
Yes, hi, my name is Stephanie. I primarily write romance underneath my name here on the screen. I am a friend of Skye's. I usually hang out with her on Saturday nights on her channel. It's been a few weeks trying to get back in the rhythm and swing of things of being on screen.
Yeah. Um, it has been a few weeks because I've been doing other things. And like because I'm so tired, I was like, do I really want to stream today? Yeah, I do. No idea what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna stream. We'll figure it out together. Um,
I think the
yeah,
last time I was on screen with you, I said that I figured out a plot for my next book.
yeah.
That's as far as I've gotten. I haven't done
Haven't
anything
touched
else.
it since, huh? I have not written since we did the 12-hour marathon. Not a single thing. In fact, actually, I think that was the last time I streamed was the 12-hour marathon. Now that I think
Yeah,
about it. So yeah, I haven't written a damn thing. Not a damn, not a thing. None. Yeah,
I mean, I did write a Substack thing the other day.
that is more than I've done.
Yes. Although in the last few weeks since that 12-hour stream that we did, I did proofread 6 other stories slash poems for the charity anthology that's coming out on June 10th. So I
Okay,
did do writer stuff, just not my writer stuff.
that fair enough. All right, real quick, I'm gonna say hi to everyone in the comments section, and then we'll go from there. So let's see. Rachel popped up first, saying, "I was here first. I may not be here when you're on, but I was here first." This is Rachel D. Adams. And then Alexa popped up saying second, and then Renee says third. I like how everyone's like trying to beat each other as far as like who's here first. And then another Rachel, hello, I think you're new to my channel. If you're not, I apologize. I don't recognize your little um, icon. So if you've been here before and the icon's new, I apologize. Um, but they're coming in and saying fourth with a question mark and a grin. So Laura's here saying yo ho ho. Do we have some rum to go with that yo ho ho? I would like some rum, please.
No room for me. You can keep that.
Rachel says, "Good evening, everyone." Laura says, "Writing? What's writing?" Laura's got a new job the last time I checked in with anyone. So that's exciting news. Um, how's that going? Because I haven't heard anything because I haven't been around. So if you've told other people on other live streams, I haven't a clue. I just remember that there was an announcement on, I think it was Discord, I saw it first, where Laura was like, "I got a job." And I was like, "Yeah."
I remember it was one of our streams, and
It
she
might
said
have
she got
been.
a job, and then I was like, "Ooh, can she tell us what the job is?" Because last time she was, doing graphic art stuff, so she couldn't tell us what movie she was doing. But she wasn't doing that. She told us what she was doing for her job, and I have forgotten
Excuse
because
me.
I'm a bad friend that doesn't have enough space in her brain.
I was going to say, I just have a terrible memory. So that's why if some, yeah, I just do not have a good memory. So I washed my clothes. Speaking of good memory, I washed my clothes at the laundromat. And someone who also is a regular at the laundromat left some coins behind. And I was like, I know who they are. And I know they've told me their names, but I don't remember their names. And if you ask me to describe them right now, I will not be able to tell you uh, what they look like. Either one is a couple. And I was like, I couldn't tell you anything about them other than the fact that they exist. And I would recognize them if I see them, but I can't tell you what they look like. No idea. So, all right, what else? Let's see. Coffee Create Connect is here saying hello, everyone. I was supposed to be beta reading tonight, but didn't meet my goal for my own novel. So instead of a movie and beta reading to end the day, I am catching up. Fair enough. Renee says, I love how we sound like my little babies. Laura says, it's going well. I finished training. What? Oh, she does say in a later comment. Okay, I'm going to skip a couple comments and I'll come back to them, I promise. Laura said, I got my first full paycheck yesterday. I am an activities assistant at a retirement home for people with dementia. Oh, so you're doing pretty much the same thing I did. I was the activities director for the care center that, so I was originally, when I first moved here, my first job here was a housekeeper with a temp company, and then the hospital care center decided they wanted to get rid of the temp company and use their own people. So I actually became the activities director, and then I was activities director for a year and a half before they were like, by the way, you need to become a CNA to be activities director here. And I was like, nope. And I left. And now I'm doing housekeeping with their actual hospital team versus the temp company. So I've gone full circle. I keep shaking my desk. I apologize for that. Okay, let's see. A couple other comments. I'll go back to the ones I skipped over. Rachel said I'm kind of nude, so it's all good. All right, that makes me feel a little better.
I mean, there are a lot of Rachels in this space we have. So
there are, and there's a few Sarahs as well.
Yeah.
And so I have to be like, okay, which Sarah are you talking about? Which Rachel are you talking about? Because I need to know, because I don't know which one you're referring to. So after a while, it gets confusing. And I caught up with my watch later list of all the people I'm subscribed to, and I had 4 Sarah videos in a row, and they were all different Sarahs.
That's funny.
And I was like, ain't this ironic? This is why I have to differentiate. Triple C said, as much as I would love to finally call it a night, this is prime time to actually get stuff done. My husband is at work for the night. My dog is sleeping. Hello, Ogre. He just licked my arm. Speaking of dogs. Hi. Are you going to write with us? Yeah. Okay. The youngest has decided she's going to write with us. Schoolwork or regular other stuff? Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Husband and dog is sleeping. Can I get more done in 1 hour now? Fair. Then 5 hours in the afternoon. Ooh. Gwen of the Winter is here saying, hi, friends, lurking while I wait to reheat dinner, then kiddos' bedtime. It is the weekend, so the kiddos have a later bedtime. It's almost 10 o'clock for us, and their bedtime on weekends is 12. So.
Yeah, on our first round, I'm going to go in there and tuck the kids in. I mean, they're already in bed, but I'm going to go in there and say goodnight on their first run.
It's fair. It's fair. When I get ready to say goodnight to the one that's out here with me, she doesn't want to be on camera, which is fair. No worries there. But when I say goodnight, I'll have to turn my camera off since she doesn't want to be on camera.
That's fair.
Everyone's saying congratulations to Laura about the job. And Rachel said, I was a CNA for 14 years. It is a hard job. Why are so many Rachel's writers? Yes, there is a reason I have no desire to be a CNA. I applaud anyone who can be a CNA, but it's just not the job for me. I do not have the patience for that at all. So, all right, I think I caught up on all of the comments that are there right now. Yes. Oh, I'm going to change this. It says top chat instead of live chat. Because me and Restream still don't get along. It's still not showing me all the comments. It's like showing me every other one on my end. So,
Skye, remember how you ordered your black V6 Dialogy and it took forever and a day to get to you?
yes.
So I ordered one last week.
Do you have it already?
And I have it.
Oh, you mother trucker.
I know.
I hate that. I ordered okay, so
Yeah.
what she's referring to anyone who doesn't know the saga, I ordered Astrology on Amazon. It took a month for it to get here. A month. And you're telling me you got yours in less than a week?
So this is my first one. Okay. Look, the first one. Okay. Then it's all filled up. Then this is the one I'm working at now. So see the difference? How thick it is?
Chunky.
And this is how thin it starts. Look at that. Like how does it get from there to this? So no, I like them. The first one lasted a year. This one lasted a year and a half. So this one's going to start in June or July. I forget.
Okay.
I forget what one, because I drew different calendars and the one that's nice and fat. So we'll see. I might do like June through the end of the year.
I like making mine last for 6 months. So like this one, I filled up this much already. I've got this much left. So even when I finish June, since that's the 6 month mark, even if there's pages left, I am still going to switch to a new planner so that I have 6 months in each planner. Because I'm weird that way.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, this one I have drawn calendars until through June.
Okay.
And I have that much left. So we'll see. I think I could probably make it work.
Mine's getting chunky. And I got my tabs in today. So I ordered tabs last week so that I could add tabs to the top.
Those are the tabs. That's the kind I have. But I just got a different like color scheme, I think.
So I liked how each one was themed.
Yes.
So we're just going to be on here chatting for a bit about Stalogies and how much we love them because I have fallen in love with them.
I just they're really easy. They're portable. They can fit into anything. I can use all sorts of different types of pens on there. I can do like the Inkjoy, Papermate Inkjoy, the Sharpie pens. Like sometimes they like ghost, but not ridiculous amount.
Okay. So one of the other things I got for it is I got a glass pen set, mostly because I thought this was really pretty. So that's one of the other things I'm experimenting in it with as well, is that I've got this glass pen and I've got ink that I write in it with. And that's been a lot of fun to experiment with. Just becoming my whole artsy self, I guess, when I'm not an artsy person. My the way I think about art for me is stickers 99.9% of the time. So now I'm playing around with inks and it's fun. Oh, Eccentric Raven is here. Hello, Raven. It says, hi, hope you're doing well. I'm just reading tonight. That is totally fair. What are you reading? What is everyone working on? I have no idea what I'm going to be working on because I haven't worked on anything in 2 weeks. Actually, I do know what I'm working on. That was a lie. I am going to be I'm going to be digitizing my physical library. Like I have a spreadsheet that I'm working on putting together with titles, what series they belong to, if they belong to a series, author name, blah, 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 blah. That is what I'm going to be working on tonight. So, what about you, Stephanie? What are you working on tonight? Are you working on that plot that you plotted and haven't touched since?
Well, I did make progress with it, as in putting it into Scrivener.
Oh.
Because remember a while back, I was saying like anytime I open Scrivener, like the lines, like the line of typing would overlap each other, and I always have to like spend forever like fixing it. Well, then I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. I'll just deal with it, and it just is magically working now. I don't know what the hell I did, but whatever, it's working. So that's what it's there, and I have it in a file that says description or blurb, or I don't know what it's outline. Yes.
Okay.
I am still slightly annoyed that my Shane story that I was writing is not longer because I really thought it was going to be longer. But it's fine. I'm not fixing it. It's already out there anyway. But I think it's just because I spent a long time writing it because I was also writing other short stories at the same time. But anyways, first what I'm gonna do is fill out the kids' assignments for the next week, so I don't have to do it tomorrow night.
Okay.
I got them each it was like $10 or something at Target. I just write down like their subjects in the school thing they need to do. There you go.
Yeah.
Because sometimes Illy likes me talking to her, and sometimes Illy just wants me to show her like what I have to do, less talking at you. And he's more like, what are we doing? Because I read out loud a lot with him, like history and some other stuff. Read out loud, and he likes checking it off as he goes.
Okay.
And then I've been using the Google Forms to make quizzes for Ileana because I'm not spending $15 on the test book. So
Fair.
It's for her geography, which is like cultural geography, which is more than just like labeling the landforms and everything. But this last chapter was all about different types of government, like totalitarian, authoritative, and like all the different types of government. And so she read chapters 4 and 5, and then she did work on it. So it's like a page or two of reading and then like section quiz, a page or two of reading and a section quiz, and the end of each chapter is a chapter review. So at the end of chapter 5, which was like unit 2, so chapters 4 and 5 was unit 2. So I use this chapter review from a workbook that she doesn't do as basis for the questions I made. She didn't do too well with the different types of government. So, like, well, she doesn't like taking input from me about ways to do better, but I'm like, you need to figure out a different way to study. Like Jackson, he reads, and as he's reading, he takes my special pink highlighter and he highlights the bold terms. Like if it's about Charles Darwin, he'll like highlight the thing Charles Darwin and then like a sentence about it. So that it's in his brain better. But anyway, she goes, I don't remember reading that. I go, I know you did because you answered questions about it yesterday.
It's time to develop a new study pattern, kiddo.
Like there's a lot of stuff to read. You can't just be like, I'm going to read this and remember it right away. But yeah, I'm going to put in their lessons and stuff for the next week, and then after that, I will pull open my scrivener and it will tell me what I need to write. Right?
All right.
Automatically be like, yeah, sure, no problem.
Let's do this.
It's starting. It's always how do I start it? The start is always the hardest part. Once you get going, fine.
Yeah. Raven says I'm reading The Wild Robot. Ooh, Wild Robot's good. I liked it. I finished it recently. Also, Raven, speaking of that, I read the first 3 books from the Princess in Black series. And I like them. So we're good. Because I remember you were the one that recommended those to me. Rachel says, I'm editing a first draft of a series that I absolutely love. That is awesome. I'm here for that. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and start our first sprint soon.
Cool.
We should start our sprint soon. Okay, Okay. Anyways, for those who are new here, the way we do it is I do 4 25-minute sprints. And during those sprints, I like to put up writing prompts on the screen. You do not have to write it if you do not want to. It's just there for if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about. Maybe it'll inspire you. And yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So let me go ahead and get us set up for our first sprint. Got to bring my kitty cat back. This is, for anyone who is unaware, this is Nixie because we gave her a name. Nixie is our kitty cat. Got to change some people around. There we go. Let's see. And our first prompt is, it's fine, it's fine, it's going to be fine. You're not really bleeding that badly. It's just a flesh wound. So.
Did you watch the Princess Bride recently?
No.
That's what that one reminds me of.
You know what? It reminds me of Monty Python. It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah,
Your arm's been cut off. No, it isn't. It's just a scratch.
that's fine. It's
Uh,
fine.
it's fine. Laura's okay. Real quick, good catching up on messages chat. Real quick, Laura says I'm back. Was messaging with someone about my sci-fi. I feel like I should be writing, but I should also shower and sleep. Laura, I think you should go shower and sleep. You've been working awesome. You've been doing all the things, and you deserve the shower and sleep. So I will never condone the shower and sleep. So Century Raven says wonderful. Holy Grail. I need to include that line in my work in progress. Yes. Alrighty. So feel free to use it if you want to. You do not have to. But we're going to go ahead and do 25 minutes and we're going to come back after that and chit chat. So here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. Let us know how you did, what you did in the comments. The song I was listening to ended right after the timer went off. I was like, oh, that's perfect.
I I was looking at the assignments for Ileana for this next week and realized at some point they were on the same math lesson, but now Jackson's like 2 lessons ahead of her. So that means I get to do it twice.
We
It's percentages. That's what this chapter's all about. Like commissions and taxes, and if an item is $12 and it's 10% discount, what's the discount and that sort of thing. That you would usually use anyway. But I usually just ask hey, if it's this much and it's this much off, how much is it? And he knows. I don't do the math in my head.
I got 26 books put into my little tracker thingy, but I might have to.
Books that you have on your physical shelf?
Yeah, I went into the library like before the live stream started and took pictures so I could just like look at the pictures to get the book titles rather than carrying big stacks of books around.
Good idea.
Because the plan is to have these lists so that when we go to move, I can label boxes and have like the list of what's in each box taped to the box.
Can't you just put books?
But maybe I want to pull out a book between now and then. And now I need to know where that book is.
Okay. All right.
This is my brain overcomplicating things. Leave me alone.
Okay.
If it works, it works. Don't knock it. Actually, the list is just for us so we can, whenever we're like at stores and stuff, we don't get duplicates of books we already have.
I mean, to be fair, I still haven't put away my clothes from when we moved in. They're still sitting on top of the dresser. Or on top of the bookshelf that's in the room.
And I'm doing this list. Hold on, let me just share my screen. This might be easier. Okay. Share. Let me see it. There we go. Okay, so this is the one I'm doing for books, but I also have one for like movies, which I haven't started yet. But like we tend to buy movies individually, and then when they release a movie and then do like a box set of said movies, like if it's a series, we tend to buy box sets. So then we've got duplicates, and that's part of the reason I wanted to make these lists. We stopped doing that crap. Because when you have 3 copies of the same movie because they were in different box sets, you have a problem. And then I'm also doing it for games too, because we have like we have games for various systems, and then we have board games. We have a lot of board games. So, but like they just opened up a new board game, a new hobby shop in town that sells board games. And I'm like, do we have this board game? Do we have that board game? I think we have this board game. I have no idea if we have this board game. So that's what these lists are for. So we have access to them, and they're on Google Sheets, so that I can like pull them up on my phone and be like, "Yep, we have that one." So that's mainly what we're doing with this. Place the screen with the kitty cats. There we go. Oh, I kind of like the way that looks. But we're going back. We're gonna hide it for now. No kitty cat for us. Ha ha ha. Excuse me. But yeah, that's what I was working on during that sprint. Okay. Let's see. Looking at the chat, Raven got to page 247 of 280. Still reading Wild Robot.
Okay.
Rachel is on page 22. Not exactly sure where they started. That's okay. And then Renee said, I named a couple of places in my story. Awesome. So like progress is being made from everyone.
I mean, Renee, are you like naming actual places, or are you like me and just say the restaurant, the coffee shop, the library?
So I said the new the hobby store opened up in town.
Uh-huh.
Its name is literally Item Shop.
Item shop?
Item Shop.
Well, I mean,
Not even the item shop, just Item Shop.
that's so funny.
I thought it was a joke when I first saw the sign. I was like, do they not have a name for it? So they're just using that as like a placeholder? No, that's the actual name. How far did you get, kiddo? What'd you do during this break? I've been rewriting my story and okay. Handwriting? Fair. I like to handwrite short stories, so fair.
And so that if I want to change something, I just write it.
Okay. She's like, I don't know what you want from me. Let's see. Renee said, okay, Renee had a question first. I'm curious how y'all do that. I feel like I can't move forward until I have the name.
Like the name of the town, the name of a store, the name of a coffee shop. Is that what you mean, Renee? Like, do you actually, let's say your coffee shop is chocolate beans, I don't know, whatever. Okay, and then the bakery is sweet snacks, and then the restaurant is Miranda's Cafe or whatever. Those are horrible examples, by the way. Okay, don't use my examples.
There is this the one I use? Okay. So there is a website I use. I am a huge fan of like generators as far as like name stuff goes, of buildings and stuff. And there is a website. I'm going to put the link in the comments section. Now this is more for like fantasy stuff, but there's different kinds of generators for various things depending on what you're looking at doing. And whoop. Okay. Like I've used it to name different places and locations, and usually what I'll do is it'll come up with its generated list, and I kind of mishmash things together from different options that it gives. That's what I've done, and then actually I'm a very big fan of being like, okay, DeFam, I need a name for XYZ, and just getting suggestions from them. And like I watched a video the other day that at first irked me because it was talking about the sentence, the nuance behind the sentence, the curtains were blue, and the fact that the curtains were blue for specific reasons and stuff like that. Like there was more, the author was not just picking a random color for whatever reason. I'm like, and I'm sitting there getting angry because I'm like, yes, I am, because I literally like, I can't think of color. Let's spin a wheel. And I'll do the same thing with names. I'm like, I have no idea what to name this character. Spin a wheel. I'm a very big fan of my spinning wheels.
So I'm pretty proud of the fact that this book that I have outlined, I have not only figured out the ages of the two main characters, but the first and last name.
Ooh.
So that's pretty good. Because usually I think of the last name like characters have a first name, but then I think of the last name once that character is the main character in a story. So like in my first book, you meet a cast of characters, but you don't really know everyone's last name until it's those two people's happily ever after or whatever. That's hard because I'm like, I don't want to have people's last names that I know in the book, you know. So there's that.
For people, I have two spreadsheets. I have three spreadsheets actually. I have a spreadsheet for female names and a spreadsheet for male names and a spreadsheet for surnames. And basically, anytime I see a name that I like that I might want to someday use in the future, I add it to those spreadsheets. And I get a lot of my names from movie end credits.
So some of my characters' names I got from like TV shows I've watched, and it's like the actresses that play that character. I still don't have a name for my main character in my fantasy adventure novel. It's still a simple MC. thought about just leaving it that way because then anyone who's a writer would just know what that means, like a
Yeah.
little joke. But yeah, no. So Jackson asked me, he's like, "Mom," because we were sitting at the table and the calendar's over there, and I said, "Oh look, my Fantasyland schedule says I'm having a book release on July 7th." They're like, "Really, Mom?" I said, "It could happen. I've been known to write finish a book in a short amount of time. It could be another short story." And then he's like, "Oh, which one is it?" And I said, "Not the fantasy adventure one, the one he's been bugging me to write." He says, "Well, when are you going to get done?" I said, "I have a specific date on when it released. And it's either going to be this year on December 2nd or next year on December 2nd. It's his birthday."
Ah,
That's an arbitrary day picked.
that makes sense.
It'll be like, "Dude Jackson, happy birthday. Now stop bugging me. Get the dedication."
That is funny. As far as like naming places and buildings and stores and stuff, I've gotten away with it because like I don't generally spend a lot of time in my stories because I write fantasy. I don't generally spend a lot of time in places other than like towns and cities. Or if we're in a building, I'm like, we're in the library, we're in the general store, we're in the tavern, and I'm not naming things. And that's how I get around that. Nothing is named. Um, Probably a detail that needs to change, but at the same time, that's how I've gotten away with it so far. And looking at the comments, Raven says, I made a whole video on how I come up with names. Essentially, you grab names from anywhere and everywhere. I use the many names I've heard over the decade. And Renee said, I'll have to check it out. And then Rachel said, as for spreadsheets, I add any information about the character's eye color, hair color, general personality, etc., even down to how they react to the FMC. Makes sense.
I mean, there's only so many ways to describe someone having brown hair. Like, because I don't want, you don't want all the characters all have brown hair, all have blonde hair, all have short hair, wavy hair. You know, although most of my girl characters have curly hair or long hair, and it's either black or brown. Black or brown. That's what it is.
Most of my characters are described as having dark hair. You could leave
But
it to your
dark hair,
imagination whether it's brown or black or something in between, but it's dark hair. And again, we go back to those spin wheels. Let's see what color our character's going to have. Okay, there we go. That's what we're going with.
A very bright orange.
Just because you said that, now I'm going to have to make a character with very bright orange hair. The look on her face is just like someone who's traumatized. Oh, goodness. All right. Okay, well, I've caught up with the chat, and Nixie is patiently waiting for us to do another sprint. Do we want to do another sprint?
yes, I needed some coffee, I think.
Okay.
My cup's over there. I could add ice to it, and now it's iced coffee.
There you go. All right, she's been waiting for us for a bit, and I was good. I paused her at the 3-second mark. So here we go. We're gonna do another sprint. We'll be back in 25 minutes, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time, everybody. Let us know how you did what you did in the comments.
So I didn't get my coffee because Jackson actually did all the dishes. Usually when he sees my coffee sitting on the counter, he leaves it alone. But this time he actually took care of it like he's supposed to.
Mm.
So we've been getting like this powdered energy drink. They come in little packets from Walmart. They come in different flavors. It's like 120 milligrams of caffeine in a serving. Sometimes it helps. Sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's just this flavored water. And then I finished doing the kids' lessons, which I did Jackson's for next week already. So the work was not as much as I thought it was going to be.
Nice.
And I think that's pretty much it. How about you?
I got more books in my list, so now I'm up to 45. I did go back through and change them because I want to be able to have them in alphabetical order by title and author, but I do it by like author's last name. So I went into my spreadsheet and like put the author's last name first, the comma, and then their first and or middle name. So that way, when I sort it, it's already in alphabetical order.
Got it.
It's just me being specific, but it works. Anyways, going back to talking about characters, I mentioned that I was going to share something for my Notion. Give me a second. I went into the wrong thing. No, shit. And I just closed it. Give me a second. Oh, have I not added all the characters in? I have not. Oh, well, that helps. Okay, that's spoiler. Can't read that. Okay, I guess I'll use this one because it's not filled out. It's empty. Let me share this real quick. Replace screen share. Father Norman. Okay, I'm gonna make this bigger for a second. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so at first I lied because I was like, I just keep it real simple, and I apparently used to keep it real simple, but I've recently changed up my template. So now when I'm like tracking character stuff, this one's empty because I haven't started filling it out, but I have full name, nickname, birthday, age, gender, sexual preference, height, body type, eye color, hair color and style, skin tone, physical description, species, because I write fantasy, so some of them might not be human. In fact, 99.9% of them are not. Any allergies they have, whether or not they smoke, drink, or do drugs, what book they appear in, if it's a series, and any images that I create, whether I like have an artist draw it or I build them in Sims or like any of the chibi generators that I have used in the past for some stuff too. Because and then down at the bottom here, I've got what they want, fear, and love, and that's how I used to do it. That used to be all I tracked was what they want, fear, and love. And then I've apparently added all this extra stuff. So it's slightly more complicated. And do I fill out all of this for all the characters? No, I do not. That is asking way too much of me and giving me way too much chance to procrastinate. I get to pick and choose. So yeah, that's what I do.
It's a little less than simple. A little more than simple. Yeah.
A little more simple.
Yeah.
A little more than simple. Jesus, I cannot talk now. But
So I would just realize I kind of put more work for myself when I'm doing their lessons. So I take all their books and I look through the chapters and the things, and they have table of contents. I like putting it in a checklist format on Trello
okay.
because it's on my phone and on my computer, and then because then I like seeing how much they've completed so far, and then I get a little irritated because I'm like, you've been working in this book for like over a year. It's designed to be done within a year's time.
Okay.
It's a writing grammar book. Illy like to procrastinate.
Fair.
But yeah, and then that way, like when I'm looking through, and I see, oh, this lesson's like 10 pages of reading, which is a lot sometimes, depending on what, like history, science, whatever it is. I'll break it up into smaller chunks over like 2 or 3 days time. Or if it's a chapter that they don't need to redo because they've done a ton of it, like the water cycle, Jackson's like, Mom, never the water cycle again, ever. So much water cycle.
We've only gone over this every year for the past 17 million years.
Yes. I even found a cool water cycle song online. It's actually called the Cool Water Cycle Song with lyrics. A 4th grade or 5th grade teacher made it up. It's cute. It's funny. They've all listened to it from when they were like 4 years old on. So they're like, no more water cycle. Like, okay. Or like Illy's. One of them. Oh yeah, Ileana's like cultural geography. One whole like section of it was about viewing the earth as a certain age because it's a biblical based curriculum. So like that chapter we just skipped over.
Gotcha.
And then like some of the questions she won't do because they'll say things like read Exodus, blah blah blah, and compare it to what happened in this book that you're reading. So those things we don't do, but for the most part, she does most of the other stuff. So, because that's what's available. That isn't like a some of the because the homeschool stuff is easy to do like single or 2 kids in your house, but like if it's like a school-based, classroom-based textbook, it'll have a lot of like group activities or like exchange papers with like getting groups of 4 and stuff like that. That's harder. I mean, it can be done. I just want to put less thought into planning.
Yeah.
Out. Yes. I remember one with that. I'm really tired.
I feel that. As soon as we're done sprinting for tonight, I am going to bed because I am a sleepy one. Renee says, I've been using and learning Sprintle for my story Bible. However, I would like to use something offline because I live in the woods pretty much and we lose the internet sometimes. I feel that very much so. Raven finished the book. Awesome. It has a bittersweet ending, but I loved it. I need to read the other books. I have not read the other books yet. I've only finished the first one. Bianca the Just Unicorn. I think I'm reading that correctly. Hi, welcome. See, Raven
What was
said
the emoji she shared?
it's the YouTube symbol.
Oh, because on the back end on Restream it just says stay home.
What if I don't want to stay home? Jeez, rude.
Yeah, I thought that was. Yeah, it doesn't show the emojis.
I see it now. Just another reason for me to continue looking at YouTube and seeing what it says there. Raven says, I also updated a character profile, so I worked on my writing a little bit today. Nice. I just tried to combine 2 words and it came out as something weird. Nice is what I meant to say. And then Renee said, I love that. I think I'm not quite certain what they're referring to. But either way, that's awesome. Okay. Oh, my eye itches so much for no reason. Lovely. Okay. All right. I have caught up to the end of the chat. Nixie is prepped and ready to go for our next sprint. Are you ready to do another sprint?
Yeah.
You are questioning that hard. You're like, am I? Do I wanna? Do I have to? I don't wanna.
Before you do that, let me tell you the reason why our library is not letting you count audiobooks for the summer reading program.
Am I gonna get mad? I feel like I'm
No,
gonna get mad.
no, you're not going to get mad.
Okay, cool. Let's go.
So I asked, so I'm kind of friends with the person that does all the community outreach stuff. And okay, so I was like, hey, so why is it we can't do audiobooks? And she said, well, last year we got the only librarian and that's at the library. She's came over from a different town, so she decided to use the same rules from the different bigger town, and so any books counted. And so for ages, if you're under 18 years old, it's minutes. So there's like 5 levels, and each level is essentially 3 hours worth of reading. Okay. And then you get a prize if you're the top reader in your age bracket.
Okay.
And you get and then if you're the top reader for the entire program, adults and kids alike, then you get another prize. Well, this person wanted the top reader for the entire program. Okay. And and they had like an end of summer party and they were handing out their awards and stuff. And this person, I'll tell you the age in a minute. Okay. That's valid. Okay. This person's like, oh yeah, it's not hard. Just listen to audiobooks all day long. It's fine. And so this year they decided not to do audiobooks, if you're under 18 years old. Because the reason for doing the summer reading program is to get kids to like practice their reading skills throughout the summer. So he was 10, okay, 10 years old, and he was going, oh yeah, it's not that hard. Just listen to audiobooks all day long on super fast speed. It's fine. So that's why, because the point of the summer reading program is to not lose reading skills.
I get it.
It's like if you read out loud to your kids, and that counts because you're reading out loud to your kids. So then that counts if they're listening. And then she's like, I don't care if like adults do it, because like adults are counted by book that they finish, not by minutes that they read. So that's what they're trying out. But it's really cool. All the other library summer reading programs, we've always had to like track it on a piece of paper, and we're always losing it. This time they have an app that you can sign up, and then you put in like you only on our bed like for 30 minutes. I'd be like, oh yeah, for 20 minutes, and like whatever for grows for 15 as you've completed enough minutes for that level, like the first level. It'll have an alert that sends to your phone or whatever. It says, come to the library for your prize or turn in your minutes or something. So that's neat that there's not another piece of paper I have to keep track of.
I like that.
So yeah, they don't get. She's like, we're not saying audiobooks don't count. We're just like trying to give everyone a chance.
Equals chance.
As opposed to reading at 3 or 4 times speed on audio at 10 years old. Like how I can listen at like 2 times speed sometimes, depending on the narrator, like 1.5 usually, but like 3 or 4 times speed at 10 years old. Like, what do you even, you're just, that's
gibberish at that point.
Yes.
I thought I was going to have to get heated about that because of the fact that last night at work, I listened to 7 audiobooks. Now, before anyone goes like crazy and says how, it wasn't because of speed. Actually, I had to listen to them at normal speed. But it's because they were the Amazon original shorts, and I was listening to the Into Shadow series. So like each one was like, I think the longest one was 2 hours long, and most of them were like 45 minutes to an hour. So that's how I finished 7 in an 8-hour shift.
But like this argument forever about do audiobooks count, and they count totally. But I totally get where the librarian who was leading the process was an even.
If they counted it based on books read versus minutes, I think that would have been better and still been able to count audiobooks. But at the same time, if you're going to have someone cheating and doing the 3 to 4 times speed, like how
yeah, I don't know how many books they read. They were just a top reader, even over adults.
Yeah.
Because last year they were just doing books read. They didn't do minutes. So this time they're doing under 17 minutes read. And so there's 5 levels, and each level is like 3 hours worth of reading. And then if you're 18 and over, it's books completed. Because usually adults are faster readers than kids. But also, I'm a horrible parent, and we still continue schooling through the summer because we take way too many breaks throughout the year.
Makes sense.
And so this next chunk of history that I'm going to be doing, there's going to be I'm going to reading out loud a lot of books that are based in historical fact or whatever. So, like, for example, if we were going to do uh, the part about like Paul Revere and like all that The Midnight Ride, I'd probably read books that have that character or that's taking place in the background.
Jesus.
So,
What about?
yeah, I would.
Old
Yeah,
Josh just jumped up and ran out of the room, and I don't know why.
porcupine. But yeah, I want to be able. I want to try reading books that correlate to what they're
What's doing?
learning about, or that takes place during that time period in history. That's what I'm trying to say. Books that
Yeah.
take place in that same time period.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, both of you. Oh, Jace is here. Hello, Jace. Jace is doing wake up activities. Fair. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started on the next sprint because we got 2 more sprints left, and it's already after 11 o'clock my time. And I realize that I am on the computer in my room, and Justin has work tomorrow morning. So I can't be on here until like 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what it all comes down to. So, all right, let me get it set up for our next sprint. This is sprint number 3 of 4. I don't know what she's doing. Anyways, okay, here we go. So here's our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. You do not have to. Do not feel like you're obligated. You're not. And it says, why can't I just cut and run? I feel like that would be safer in the end. So that is our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. And we are going to go ahead and start as soon as I figure out how to get the kitty cat back on the screen. There we go. Why does she keep moving around? Missy, stay in the middle where you belong. Anyways, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. How'd you do? What you do? Let us know in the comments.
All right. So I'm taking this book
Okay.
and I'm writing down all the different sections in it. So for like example, there's a unit called climate in the Eastern Hemisphere, and it breaks down each of the types of climates. So like section level or letter A is the tundra climate, and then next section is the subarctic and the humid, and there's activities. And I like this geography one because it's using a lot of like student atlases and maps he has to look at to instead of just reading. Like the other one's a little bit simpler. So I only did one like this for the Western Hemisphere a few years ago, like many years ago. So I find that Jackson, if he does the same type of stuff for each subject each year, he gets kind of burnt out on it. So if I can switch it up, I can. So I'm now almost through unit 7 of 14 units.
Okay.
So
Halfway through.
halfway through, yes. And then I made a mistake. So I like buying used books on Amazon if I can help it because they're cheaper.
Yeah.
And so this is the one that Jackson's going to be doing next for grade 8th grade. Okay. Right.
Okay.
And it was like $5 cheaper, but like the first part of the book is actually written in like the first.
Oh, someone wrote it.
First 8 lessons, but they're like lessons that he's done before, like what's the topic sentence, how to write a paragraph, that sort of thing. So
it'll be a review for him.
Review for him anyway. So so that was a little annoying. Because sometimes they'll be used like some highlighting or stuff in the margins, but a good section, but there's still like 25 lessons still left that are not used. So I still feel like there's a lot there. And so that's what I did, just writing stuff down.
I got more books added to my chart, and I've got 88 books now.
Only 88? No.
Only 88. We have enough physical books, so like I think the I read somewhere that the requirement to consider yourself having a library is 1,000 books. We have 1,000 books. I'm gonna be doing this for a bit. I've got through 1.5 shelves.
Wow.
And then I realized I took a picture of all the Magic Tree House books because we have the entire series that I know of. We have 46 books. I can't even read this picture. I think it's 46, plus some of the special editions. And I don't remember how many are in the series total, but I'm pretty certain we have the whole series.
But then there's the Merlin missions as well.
The what?
There's the Merlin mission.
Yeah, we
So,
have
like,
the side stories. Yeah, that's what I have too.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, my brain jumbled everything you said, and I was just like, Holiday Hoopy Wuddy?
There's 54 books.
So,
54 books. Okay, I think we have them all. I think.
So one of the writing activities my daughter had to do was to write a short story, and the specifics I gave her, which was not in the assignment, I said you have to write a short story that is not based in fact. Do not write about how we went to the Grand Canyon and saw a squirrel eating a chipmunk on its hind legs. Do not write about that. I wanted you to make something up.
Okay.
And so in one of her notebooks, she read a story that she'd written when she was like 7, but she had lost it. So I had to rewrite it, and it's okay. It's good. Like she actually typed it up on my computer like this. It's like 500 and some odd words. It's about tigers and bears.
Oh my.
Yes. So the book I'm having her do, every chapter there is a writing assignment at the end of the chapter, or that they work on throughout the chapter.
Which notebook is this? I need this notebook in my life, or this workbook in my life.
It's hold on.
Just because that would be good practice, like just in general.
It's like a writing grammar curriculum book. So each chapter has like a grammar thing and then a writing topic to go with it. The only one we skipped, the only writing assignment we skipped was like creating a web page for your classroom. I didn't even be doing that. Chapter 1 was about writing a letter, how to format a letter, a personal letter. Chapter 2 was about sentences, but also about a personal report. Oh, that's right. She decided to write a report on Thomas Jefferson.
Okay.
Chapter 3 was responding to literature. That was a hard one to explain. We did a poetry one. That was really hard for someone that's very black and white thinking. So
Yeah. All right, hold on just a second. How far did you get, kiddo?
2 page
Total? 6 pages handwritten? Nice. She's got to start getting ready for bed. That's the reason I was asking her what she did. Because it's 10 minutes to the top of the hour. Is that my phone that keeps going off?
Yes, it is. That is not my phone.
Can you grab it for me real quick? I'll turn off my camera that way you're not seeing. There you go. Thank you. It's too far away and I can't reach it. I'm too weak. My arm doesn't stretch that far. Oh no. Thank you.
Yeah.
So Illy is almost done. She's getting ready to do this dumb research essay for chapter 10. The book was like, wanted the students to like learn about where words come from. So take a word or a phrase in English language and figure out, like write a short essay about where it comes from. I'm like, that's what she's already doing her word study, like vocab. So I was talking to a friend of mine who's married to an English teacher, and so she gave me some ideas. I said, think of words that you use now, and their context has changed over time. And I gave her an example. The word gay used to be like happy and colorful, and now it's something different. The word cool used to mean temperature-wise, but now it's something that's neat. So I told her to think of different words and how they change over time. And so that's what she's going to be doing. I thought it was a little dumb one, but it's fine. She's getting.
I saw a video fairly similar to that was talking. This one, it goes back to the topic of how language changes over time and how words get different meanings and connotations. But it was talking about words that we don't think are racist that actually are. And I was just like, oh, and some of them I didn't know about. Like nitpicky is
like picking cotton.
Yeah. And I never understood what the term peanut gallery meant. I was like, I've even asked people, I'm like, what the does that mean? Because whenever people would say it, I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And now I know, and I'm like, oh.
I think of it as just like peanut gallery that people are like in the side and
when
like
they had people segregated in theaters and stuff.
I never knew that till just now. I just thought it was like people that were like chatting with each other in the theater and like nitpicking about stuff.
That would have been. So, all right. So yeah, that was interesting to learn. Do I get an actual hug or are you like?
Yeah, I'm not done yet.
Okay, you just came in here to boot me. Okay, got it. I'm like, hello? That's how you're saying goodnight? That was the oldest. She doesn't mind being on camera. Anyways, I'm going to check our chat real quick because I just realized I haven't done that in a bit. I'm a bad YouTuber. I'm getting back in the hang of things. It's been a couple weeks.
I haven't made a video in like 2 weeks. Almost 3 either.
I have stayed on top of my videos. And I'll come back to that topic in a second. Okay. And it actually is a response to a message too at the same time. JC popped in. Hi, JC. During that sprint, JC and I were also chatting back and forth. But she says, "Oh my God, YouTube failed me. I did not know you were here, Skye. I would have been here a long time ago if I was told that you were live." And she said hi to you. She said hi, Stephanie. Jace is saying hi to her. Renee's off to bed. Have a headache coming on. It's been a pleasure riding with y'all. You're probably already gone, but thank you for joining us tonight. I hope you sleep well, and I hope the headache goes away. Just says standard routine says I need to shower before I start work, but that means I'll probably not be able to use the stream for work. We have one more sprint left, but I understand if you can't use the stream for work because work is important and sometimes things don't mesh. So that's okay. Alexa is struggling to rewrite their first chapter, still on paragraph one, trying to write a hook. I am terrible with that. Terrible. I just posted a video talking about the very first line in various stories. I don't know what they're doing, but they're making a whole bunch of racket that I can hear over my headphones. But oh well, I don't care. I'm gonna ignore it. But anyways, going back to that video, it wasn't until after I finished filming the video that I was like, huh, some of these are just terrible sentences.
I think it might have been like, if I was going to do that, I'd be like the first paragraph or read the first page to give a better like feel for it.
Right? And I think that's why that made it so much more interesting. Because like that growl is a very good example. Like the first sentence is Allen wrenches, and it's because the main character it's his thought process as he's listing off a bunch of tools he needs, but he's literally listing them off as he grabs them. So it's like Allen wrench.
Yeah, like some are totally, it's all taken out of context. You have no idea what's going on.
Exactly. And that's why I thought that was such a fun video idea. I was like, no one's going to know what this is about. That's great. JC says, sorry, Skye, it's just me talking about my phone going off. CS, we are here in the chat. Don't ignore us. JC says, yep, it's just a timing thing. I'll get into work mode in an hour or so. I have 2 chapters to transcribe from composition books. Hey, I use composition books too. I need to get back into handwriting in them. But I haven't. So.
Speaking of sharing stories, would you like me to read Ileana's bear tiger story?
Sure. You can read the bear tiger story.
All right. It is called The War of Tigers and Bears. I was out for an evening stroll when I heard shouting from inside my family's cave. Since my family was all bears, our mom was raising us on her own. My mom was arguing with my older sister, Daisy. You're going to have to grow up eventually, Mom yelled. You're just going to abandon us? Daisy asked. I had heard that the bears were going to relocate somewhere else to escape our sworn enemy, the tigers, but since it was a dangerous journey, Daisy and I would have to stay behind. I peeked my head through the opening in our cave. Mom gasped, and I ran away that day. As I was wandering through the woods, it occurred to me that I was rather famished. A few squirrels caught my eye. I chased after them to hunt the squirrels down. However, I missed every one of them. I continued to wander throughout the dense woods, not knowing where I was going. I suddenly got the feeling that I was being followed. At first, I tried to ignore the growing sense of dread in the back of my mind, but then I was beginning to pick up the sounds of footsteps. But who could it be? The dreaded humans, or perhaps the more fearsome tigers? Fearing the worst, I broke into a run until I discovered a hidden bramble thicket to hide in. This was only temporary, and I knew I'd be discovered soon. As I scrambled out of the thicket, a human child was standing by itself. Ignoring the voice in the back of my head telling me it was a trap, I went to the small human child to see its condition. The small being couldn't be older than a year at most. I suddenly felt a sense of dread and felt a sharp pain in my neck. It was a tranquilizer dart. I fell to the ground as everything went dark. When I came to, I awoke in a well-lit room. There were cages filled with all sorts of animals, and I saw my sister Daisy. Daisy, are you all right? I asked. I'm okay, she said. I recognized where I was. This was a bad place where animals either turned into frivolous pets while the others went mad or were never seen from again. There was suddenly a loud crash from outside. It was the tigers. Silver, a close friend of Mom's, was leading the surprise attack. Although Silver was a tiger, she was a friend of Mom's, so we played nice. All the other liberated animals went their separate ways. Silver just then took us prisoner. I knew we shouldn't have trusted you, Daisy said. Silver smirked. And once we find your mother, the leader of the bears, the tigers will put an end to the futile rebellion of the bears. The land has always belonged to the bears, Daisy protested. Could Silver be right? Could the bears be the monsters? Could mom really be some important general? The end. That's what we got. I like her big word vocabulary. Famished.
Oh,
That was her short story she wrote.
oh my.
Yes.
That is too
Oh,
funny.
because I kind of like gave it an idea. I'm like, you like reading the warrior books by Aaron Hunter. You could do like a fan fiction or like in that world. So that's what she came up with. That's what she.
And now I think it's Aaron Hunter or another author that's doing something similar with there's a dog series and a bear series and
So Aaron Hunter has the
series.
cat ones, and then she has dog, which is Survivor, and then she has another one where it's like different like Serengeti type animals like giraffes, tigers, that sort of thing. But it's like a group of like 4 or 5 different authors all writing underneath the name Aaron Hunter.
Which I didn't know for the longest time. I did not know that.
I mean,
someone said that to me, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah. That's a lot of, and one of them doesn't even have a cat or like cats.
That is funny. Raven says, "I hope to someday make a video analyzing some of my favorite first lines from my favorite books." I love that idea. You want to bed, kiddo? Un momento.
Yes. So some of those writing exercises it has my daughter doing this book I find silly, but like I'm not like, how do you teach poetry? There's not a way for you to teach poetry, so that's always a weird unit for me to figure out.
Yeah.
But then I was like pretending you're writing a Taylor Swift song, and then she got the hang of it.
There you go.
Yes, it's her
Songwriting counts as poetry.
Yes.
So, yeah, I feel that. Oh. Where'd you go? Oh. Yes, Grace is definitely funny. She is the odd one. That's my baby bat. She's my baby bat. Also, the reason I started laughing was because right before I unmuted myself, she was yelling at Ogre because Ogre stuck his nose up in her butt. She did not appreciate that, apparently. Do not rile him up because we got to go to bed soon-ish. That's the last thing I need. Oh, googly moogly. JC says there are plenty of poetry craft books. You absolutely can teach poetry. There are plenty of poetry craft books. Look on YouTube also for different techniques when it comes to poetry. You getting ready for bed, Kilo? Okay. I gotta turn the camera off real quick.
Yeah.
Because this one does not like me. Okay.
Gotcha.
Which is fine.
Oh, yeah. So she needed to write a poem that describes a person, place, thing, or idea using metaphors. That's what she had to do.
Oh, shoot. Gwen, come back. Come back. Ah, fudge nuggets. Can you hand me that?
I don't remember what she wrote about.
Thank you.
I'm pretty sure she wrote about.
Thank you.
Like,
it's because I'm peeling.
Did you sunburned?
Oh yeah, I'm very sunburned. It doesn't take much. Now that
I got sunburned for the first time in like ever. Like severe. It was like a dark red color, like all over. Like you can see the tan lines. It was all over here. What grade is she in? If she was in public school, she would be finishing 9th grade.
Illy?
But yeah, Illy. But
What?
she's gonna be 15 next week.
Yeah, because my oldest, she
Yeah.
had to repeat kindergarten. She would be in ninth grade because she's in eighth grade now. So yeah, and they're the same age.
And then, but this book is grade 10 because she, yeah, writing and reading is not hard for her. Writing legibly is hard for her. Um,
I'm totally looking up that book.
this one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's BJU Press,
Okay.
Writing and Grammar.
B. Oh, BJ. Oops, I totally put a G. Writing and Grammar 7. No, I want Writing and Grammar 10. Just because some of the lessons you were describing earlier sounds really cool. So there it is. I found it.
Yay!
Found it.
And
I
so
just
there's
want a copy
always
for me.
like a grammar skill for each chapter, and because I don't feel like she needs to like underline their antecedent or the verb in 10 or 15 different questions, I have her do like the first 5, and then she understands it. We don't have her do all 15 of them, but she doesn't understand them, then we'll do it like, yeah. There is it is like a biblical Bible based curriculum, I guess. So some of it has references to like Bible stuff, but even if you ignore that, it doesn't really change much, really.
Yeah.
Like their 8th grade example that they're doing, they had the chapter or lesson about metric and U.S. measurements, and then there's a whole lesson chapter on measurements that are referenced in the Bible. So like that didn't really apply, so we didn't do that. That's
Yeah.
So
That makes sense. Says, I think you already answered that because JC asked what grade she's in. Okay, and she said, okay, I found a playlist about teaching poetry for kids, so let me see if I can find something for older than that. Actually, I'm going to link the playlist for teaching poetry for kids because it gives some basics that you could still use, and she linked that playlist. So there is a playlist there for teaching poetry, which is awesome.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna see it.
But there was something I was going to mention earlier, talking about videos. And now I can't remember what it was. It's gone.
You said you were doing pretty good about staying up to date up on your videos that you're releasing.
I am staying up to date on videos, except for I haven't filmed at all this week. Pretty much, I have. That's a lie. I have filmed, but like not as much. And like Monday was a very, very bad day for me, so I filmed one clip, and it was a not so fun clip, and that was gonna. It's okay. Dad's got to be at work at 8:30, so we have to leave here around 8:10. So whatever time, however much time you need, so that you're ready to go walk out the door at 8:10. Okay. Ow, that hurt.
You've got
Train of
mail.
thought direct. And she texted me. Train of thought direct. Oh yeah. So I was not in a good headspace the beginning of this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like not at all. And I'm pretty certain I gave Amy whiplash because like I was venting to her about everything that was just like I was just going through an entire list. I was like, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong. And at the very end of that list, like not even an hour later, I had watched some YouTube videos, I had calmed down, I had gotten over my pity party, And like I was like, oh, I've got some great ideas. And I was texting her all kinds of super exciting ideas. She's probably sitting there going, what the fuck am I reading? Because it literally goes from one end to the other.
Well,
Super low to super high. And she hasn't responded yet, so I fully suspect that when she does, she's going to be like, Skye, are you okay? Do we need to have an intervention?
it's fine.
But the one video clip I did film on Monday, I filmed while I was not in that, and I'm still not in a good headspace. And so like it's a very long clip, and I was just gonna do that by itself as a video. But the more I think about it, more I'm like, I don't really wanna. This is depressing.
So, all right. So you know how like I participate in different readathons, and I'm on Discord servers for different readathons. Well, there was a couple different readathons I was participating in this month, and I was doing them at the same time because some of the prompts like kind of overlap with each other. So I did one book for both readathons. Well, there's one particular server. We try it without naming names, okay? This one particular server, someone said, "Oh, I'm in this readathon. What other readathons are you in?" And then that person responded, and then someone else that is helping like manage all the comments and stuff in that server is like, "Hey, can we not talk about other readathons in this group? So and so did a lot, worked on this one a lot. So can we not discuss other readathons in this space?" Which I thought was like the whole idea of readathons is community building and stuff like that, not be like, oh, you can't talk about anything else. Like everyone knows the readathons out there. So then I had a clip on my phone that said something along the lines of, and I'm also I'm reading these books, and these books can be for this prompt or another prompt. But I guess I'm not allowed to talk about other readathons because you're only allowed to talk about one readathon at a time. So maybe I should probably say that in a nicer way, not so bitchy. And Jackson was in the room with me when I was doing that. He's like, "Why would you do that?" I'm like, "Because when I'm going to be building up a video, I'll be like, huh, what was that video about that I filmed?" And then I can see it, and then I can decide if I'm going to be snarky or not. I didn't use it. I didn't make it. Yes.
The sass. I love it.
I am no longer participating in that readathon. That's my passive aggressive way, not participating at all. Yeah, right? I thought that was weird. Like, just because this is only like, they have been doing it a long time, just because they put a lot of work into it doesn't mean you can't be like, because one person was like, "Oh, I'm also doing this other readathon. What team did you pick for that other readathon?"
Yeah.
And yeah, so
we don't talk about readathon. That's the first rule of readathons. Don't you know this? Gosh.
I thought of it like, oh, these are the books I'm reading this month. I'm reading it for the Mystery and Mayhem readathon. I'm also reading it for this other readathon, but you can't know about it because it's a secret and you're also supposed to talk about it. So let's move on. But
I love it. I'm here for it.
I did not. I did not do that.
Darn. Let's see. Jay said it was a lesson of biblical proportions. And JC's giving you all the links, man. She is here to help you out.
I mean, she does write poetry, so.
She does. I have not written poetry since high school, and it wasn't even good poetry. It was terrible poetry. And then one of my friends from who I went to college with, she, every once in a while, she's posting stuff about where she's going out and doing like poetry slams. And I'm like, you go, girl. This is awesome. I love this. JC says, "Oh well, I haven't heard the You've Got Mail sound." That is my notification sound on my phone. So anytime my phone goes off, it'll say, unless it's like Facebook Messenger, it'll say "You've got mail," and I'm like, "Oh, I love it."
Oh, I thought maybe you were like living underneath a rock and had AOL or something.
Actually, I never did have AOL. Me personally, my family did back when dial-up was a thing, but I personally have never had AOL. I skipped that phase.
Yeah, my mom had AOL. So when I moved in with her, I was like 16, 17 years old, my friends quickly learned that my mom always turns off the ringer because she sleeps all day long because she lets my two littler sisters who are 12 and 16 years younger than me, so they're like 5 and 2 years old or something, um, would stay up till like, they would be going to bed about the time me and my sister would be getting up to get ready for school. Okay. So they step all night, sleep all day, and so the ringer would be off. So my friends would be like sit on the phone and let it ring and ring and ring and ring over and over again until randomly somebody would pick up to like use the phone.
You.
Yeah.
Let's see. JC agrees about the it's weird that you can't talk about the readathon stuff, and Raven said it's not a competition, right? Like it's
And
not a
that's the
competition.
only time that has ever happened to any of them. And I've been participating in them since like last year in like June. So for the last year, that's the only time that's happened.
The person who said this, okay, out of curiosity, the person who said that, was it the person? I think you said it wasn't the person who created the readathon. So was it a person who just participated in that particular Discord, or were they like a moderator for that Discord? Because I'm curious if their thoughts align with the person who actually runs it, if they are not one of those people.
So I thought so at first, like, because she was just like, I was helping the creator of the readathon like run the Discord stuff because some people are more Discord savvy than others. But then the creator of the readathon was commenting and agreeing too. So
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yes.
I mean, I get it, but at the same time, I'm like
if you're getting to know people in a Discord server by talking to them in like the chat or whatever, and then you're like, hey, I'm also in this other readathon. Do you want to come with me to my team too? So, you know what I mean?
Come join me on this Discord server.
Because you can do more than one readathon at a time. I do it all the time.
I can't personally, but that's literally a me thing, not a everyone thing. I'm struggling with the two I'm doing.
The mystery and mayhem one is there's like 3 different teams, like Lassie, detective, masterminds, whatever. But like my team, you get bonus points for reading mysteries, obviously, because mystery mayhem, but also if I read a book that has a red cover or a person on the cover. So I thought that was a good one. And this other one, you're basically trying to read down your ebook library for the month of May.
Don't judge me. My 1,500 books I haven't read yet on my ebook.
Mind you, I've only read like 8 books. Listened and or read 8 books this month.
That is funny.
And I'm in the middle of like 5 others.
JC, isn't that the point of a community type of challenge like a readathon? And she doesn't blame you. She says, that's what I found so far that looked helpful. If I come across anything else, I'll message you talking about poetry stuff. And Jace agrees with me. First rule of readathon is that you don't talk about readathon. JC said, I'm sure it wasn't terrible, Skye. I am not quite certain what you're referring to, but if you're talking...
Your poetry that you wrote.
Oh, it was. Trust me. It was. I still have it because I published it back in 2014. 2014 was when I started publishing. I published a short story collection and the poetry collection within the same 6-month period. It is no longer published. Don't bother looking. I pulled it down when Create Space went away. I pulled everything down that was published through Create Space. So it no longer exists on the net, but it does not mean I don't still have the files. So JC says, I feel like the best way to really get better at writing poetry is to listen and read more poetry. Agreed. I have an author that I have been reading. Like everything they publish poetry-wise, I read as soon as it comes out. I gotta look up who it is because I cannot remember her name. I think it's Nikita something or other. Of course, it's not gonna show me. Nikita? Yes, Nikita Gill. I have loved everything I've read from her so far, poetry wise. One of her books was Dark Embers. Is that what that said? Am I mixing? I think I'm mixing up titles. Hold on. I looked it up and then it promptly closed it as soon as I got the name. Because I'm smart like that. Fierce Fairy Tales is one, and then Wild Embers is the other one. That I have. I have samples on my phone, but I've read them physically from like the library. And what it was is that someone had taken like a picture of one of the poems called I think it's called The Fire Inside You. And that poem was what made me go hunt her down and read her stuff. Jay says AOL discs are more like computer herpes. True. JC says, I mean, there are rules to poetry as with any aspect of creative writing, but as me and Morgan said in the workshop that we did, you learn the rules so that you can break them. Yep, same true with any writing. Darn it, I was getting ready to go pull up Amazon to look for it. Oh, you know who I'm talking about? Yeah, I really like her work, and I've only got 2 samples on my e-reader, but I have read both those books. I got them from the library, and I don't know if she has any more now. I'm thinking about it, because now I'm gonna have to go look. Akita Gill. She has more books out. Oh, wait, what? Is she putting out books now? Like, or does she have just poetry? Oh, she's putting out books too. Hecate? Hecate? I don't know how to pronounce the goddess's name. I've heard it like 4 different ways, and I don't know which of the ways is correct. The goddess of the hearth. I don't remember her name or how to pronounce it correctly. She's got a book coming out about her. But I have read Wild Embers. I have read Fierce Fairy Tales. I've read Your Soul is a River. Your Heart is the Sea. I have not read The Girl and the Goddess. She has a lot more stories than I thought. That is cool. I'm gonna have to go through and read more of her stuff. And she's got books coming out. I'm super excited. Okay, might have to pre-order that one. Okay. All right, I have reached the Goddess of the Heart test. Yeah, I was mixing up people. So who's Hecate? 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 How do you even pronounce that? I am gonna have to look up how to pronounce that. Religion and mythology. Okay, yeah, I was totally mixing her up with Hestia. My bad. Can you tell I'm tired? I'm mixing up goddesses now. Great. Okay, I've reached the end of the comments. We have one more sprint left. Do you want to do a spring it? Spring it.
Yeah, let's get this. Oh, I'm gonna finish this thing I'm doing, and then we'll be good.
Is it going to actually be done this sprint?
Probably.
Okay.
Yes, as long as I don't get up and wander for a snack.
But snacks are important.
That's true.
We must have snackies. But for real, snack does sound delicious. Ooh, I still have food left over from dinner. Okay, so got the timer up. Nixie is waiting for us. Here's our final prompt for the day. It says, there's so many books. How are we supposed to get through them all and find the information we need in 30 minutes? Fun stuff. All right. You don't have to use the prompt if you don't want to. It's only there if you need it. And anyways, here we go. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time. That was our last sprint. How did everyone do? What you do?
Well, I got through my geography stuff and I am almost done writing the topics for each week on this one.
Oh. Okay, nice.
He's going to start with writing an effective introduction, followed by writing an effective conclusion.
Nice.
So I found out that Jackson writes very well. So I told him he needed to write a personal narrative. And he's like, I don't know what I want to write about. So then Jesse says, hey, why don't you write about something in your game, Warframe? He plays Warframe. So he's like, okay, I'm going to write about the mission I was doing. It's like a 3-stage mission. It's really hard. It was like, you know those composition notebooks that have like black and white mark? It was 1 page front and back and 1 page on the front.
Nice.
And he writes really neat. He doesn't like write, I was like that. He doesn't write big. He writes really, really neat. And he used commas. He used semicolons properly. He used much better about capitalizing words properly. Ileana's more like, did you spill something?
No.
Okay. So I read it. I was like, Jackson, this is really good. And he's like, thanks. And I said, you know what this means? This means now I know this is what you can do. Now I'm going to expect you to write like this more often than what you've been doing. He's like, oh, man. I'm like, see, you can write well. Doesn't have to be a boring topic, you know? But
yeah.
It also took him 3 days to write it because he wanted to write really neat and legibly.
I feel that.
Illy's just like scribble.
I'm with Illy because that's what this one looks like. This one is my where I take notes for the different courses I'm taking.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look back of it for some of the open book tests, and I'm like, I have no idea what I wrote down. I can't even read my own handwriting.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, sometimes when my hand starts to hurt from writing for so long, or when I like just trying to get as much down as possible so I can just be done. Yeah. And JC was saying that's awesome.
I was looking at that book she picked. She sent a link for on Amazon. It looks really neat. They also make ones for other writing type topics too.
That's cool. I definitely added the one that you've been using to my list of books I want to get. Oh, I got up to book 96 on my chart. I did not put all of the Magic Treehouse books in yet because I'm gonna have to go pull those off the shelf because I can't. Since I'm going based off pictures I took, I couldn't read the spines.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna have to go actually physically snag those to get those into my computer system, my tracking system. Fun stuff. Oh, I can tell it's near the end of the night. I am fading fast. But yeah. Class notes, and then this one is, it was originally like YouTube only, but it's become like a catch-all.
Oh, yeah.
Of whatever thoughts I have dealing with YouTube or writing related stuff, since they're very interconnected to each other. To the point where I was watching some videos and I was taking notes in this from those videos.
All right.
For
So
various planning stuff.
This is Jackson's writing.
Okay.
Okay. Let me find a good sample of what he's writing here.
I'm show you the worst of her handwriting so you can see what I mean and what I have to put up with.
So this is her writing her best.
Her best. Okay. That is a little hard to read. No, it's not terrible though. I can read that.
This is what I have to read on a daily basis with her. Find a good, lovely section for her. Oh, I know, like handwriting isn't like
Basically, it brings it together very neat.
but sometimes I'm like, what are you even trying to say here?
I don't know, Mom. I was just writing random words to see if you would notice.
She did that before in her history book one time. She was writing stuff. She was writing, and it said, because blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. In her history stuff. I'm like, well, okay. That's lovely.
JC said, that looks neat too, especially compared to my handwriting these days.
Yeah. There you go.
That is a little harder to see. It's not terrible, but still a little harder. I think a lot of it too, though, is pencil because it rubs off.
Yeah. Well,
fades.
like,
That's why I started writing everything in pen, even though I prefer pencil.
here's some darker print. But it's still pencil.
That's a little harder to read.
Like, look. No capital letters. Like, none of her stuff has capital letters in the beginning, but she'll put capital letters in the middle of sentences and like or words. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, it's easier and faster that way. It's not what we're
It's not
doing.
grammatically correct, kid. You're gonna drive us grammar people up the wall.
Exactly.
Oh. Ooh, excuse me. So sorry. I am fading fast. I think it's time to wrap it up.
I'm going to show you one thing I got from Amazon for myself.
Okay. 10-year monthly plan. Ooh. That reminded me, not this one. I love that. That is super cute. And I know giraffes are your favorite animal, right?
Yes.
Okay. I couldn't remember if it was you or someone else who told me that giraffes were their favorite animal, and I thought it was you, but I don't know. Then I was second guessing myself.
And then this is what the pit looks like. Very
Ooh, I
nice.
like that. Those are nice
And
and
it-
big.
And the month calendar takes up the entire page, regardless if it has 4 weeks or 5 weeks.
I
The
love
difference is the squares are a little smaller. So like the bigger
One of my projects that I'm doing now is putting together a 5-year calendar
So
for
this
publishing
one
about stuff.
is February, but the squares are bigger because they're
Yeah.
so stiff. But I saw it, I was like, oh wow, crap, I gotta have it. Yes, they do. They do have one with elements. They have one with tigers, bears, watercolor, butterflies, name it, anything.
Do you have a? You said you ordered that on Amazon?
Yeah, I'll post the link.
Yeah, thank you. So like I started putting together this 5-year planner, and like I've only actually finished decorating like one page because I was waiting for more of my stickers to come in. And it's very bland looking, but like all these numbers are stickers. All the headings up top are stickers. Everything on this page except for the boxes where I put for my calendar are stickers. And I'm just like, now imagine doing that for 5 years. That's what I'm doing. because I hate myself. I couldn't find a 5-year planner that ended when I wanted it to. So, my bad. And I got to reuse the notebook I had torn pages out of because I didn't go with the original plan for the notebook. So it worked out. I was able to continue filling a notebook instead of wasting one.
I put it in private chat. Can you put it over?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yes. Do-do-do.
So I shared the link for the one I bought, but if you scroll down, it has all the different options for the different covers.
This is the 10-month planner, right?
Yes.
Planner. Boop, boop, boop.
And
What's
it's
it say?
it's 8.5 by 11, like a regular computer printout page. They have them in hardback, but I wasn't sure about having one in hardback, so I just picked a paperback one.
I saw where someone was basically taking the idea of a Kanban board, and you know the trifold boards for like science experiments and stuff?
Oh, yeah?
So they were printing out monthly calendars, and they used the trifold board and separate. So like one of the folds had 1/4, and then the middle section, which is big enough for 2, they had 1/4 2 and 3, and then in that last fold out piece, they had 1/4 4. So they had their whole month Kanban board on this trifold board that they could carry throughout the house with them as they worked in different locations. So I was like, that is brilliant. I love this idea. So I think next year I'm going to implement that. Let's see if I can find the video that she talked about that. That was one of the things that in this, if I can grab it, in this notebook I have notes on. Did I write down the link to that video? Oh, probably not. That would have been smart. I did not. I just took notes. Okay. Let's see if I can find that in my history. It's going to be a hot second though. Okay, let's put it back. Got too many notebooks out.
So
I don't like notebooks.
this
No.
planner has Super Bowl Sunday as as a holiday. It marks what day Super Bowl Sunday is every February.
That is funny.
One of the Super Bowl Sundays is also on February 14th, so that'll be nice for couples.
Is that a 10-year or a 10-month calendar?
10-year.
Oh, 10-year. I wrote 10-month. Whoops. My bad.
Look, even has the years.
You know, if I could read, I would have noticed that. Not that intelligent. I love that. That is awesome.
It's nice and big, and also it has lines on the.
Is it squares?
I mainly use this for like future planning, like in a Fantasyland when I might be, and plus, I have this other one that I was testing to see what I wanted to use the monthly planner for. So this one.
Football fans would definitely consider that a holiday, yes.
But I basically took my Google Calendar and I put it on here. I was like, that's a lot of writing.
That is a.
Because I was
But
like,
it works. Like, which planner is that? Is that the one, the 10-year planner?
it's,
Or is that something else?
it's this one that I didn't like because they changed the format of it from one version to the next year.
How dare.
So like they didn't have like the end of year page. They didn't have like a full year calendar at the beginning of each year. And
Oh, the tiger.
so I was like, my stuff was purple. Anything at the library was orange. Illy was green, and Jackson was blue. And so I was just trying it out, seeing what I thought about it. But this month was even more crazy. There's not many days we don't have something going on. I wonder if I get anything done at any.
I don't know. I don't get anything done.
My favorite one was the cat in front of it, but the person changed the way it was done, like the layout. So like this, the font and stuff like that, it just bugged me. But this is nice. It's nice and thick too.
That is, well, with it being 10-year, yeah.
They had one for like $22 or $25 for a hardback. I was like, I don't know. Like I know I'd put stickers in there and stuff like that and sticky notes, so I didn't want the binding to be funky if it was a hardback binder, a hardback planner.
I want the deer one. You okay over? Over? You good? Nightmares? Okay. I guess it's good. He started whining.
They do have 5-year planners on that page. There's Skye. JC said.
The designs by Sophia.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh, it's a hedgehog. Aww. Yeah, a lot of the ones I was finding were like 2024 to 2020. Okay, that says one thing and the picture says another. It's very good.
Yeah. So the pictures don't match up with the description. But if you open up the description, it says updated to include like 2025 onward. Like the cover, the placeholder cover picture says like 2024 to 2020 or 2033 or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I was a little concerned about that too.
I want the deer one. I might have to get me one of these.
Because like right now, the link I showed you, it says 10-year monthly planner 2025 to 2034 on the picture, which is what mine says right here. But it actually says 2024 to 2033 in the
description. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a kitty. Is it deer? Oh, that's the 5-month deer one.
Here.
Did I just waste lots of money buying stickers to make my own when there's a 5-year one? Why couldn't I find this when I was actually looking for a 5-year planner? I'm very mad.
Okay, so this is what I've been doing. I'm going to be like, okay, this is the date I would release a book and write it in, right? And then like if there's any like major holiday things going on, I know when that's happening or stuff. Because I might not like draw out 5 years at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Plus, by like let's say March of next year, I think I'm gonna like March 20th to release a book of March of next year. But when like January comes along, I might be like, maybe not in March, might be in April. And so then I just like the idea of knowing far ahead what's coming up.
The only thing I'm tracking in the 5-year planner is like writing challenges, publishing stuff, and by writing challenges, I'm only tracking like when they are happening. I'm not tracking whether or not I do them because that way I can keep track of all the writing challenges. Because like I know in June there's a 24-hour novel writing challenge,
Yes.
and like I keep forgetting about it until someone else mentions it, and usually I'm hearing about that after it's done. This time I was lucky enough to hear about it prior to instead of after. But like
When is?
It's June 24th. That doesn't sound right.
Because I know we are doing. Is it the same week we're doing the 7-day thing?
I think so. I don't know why 24th is the day that's popping in my head. That's a Tuesday, and I'm pretty certain it's not on Tuesday. Because I think it's on a Saturday. I'll have to look it up. I just know that usually I hear about it like 2 days after it's completed, and this time I was like, oh, I have enough time. I can actually prep and do this.
So in my other one is I was doing like travel plans. We were traveling. Then I was doing publishing plans, like circling when I wanted certain books to come out. But then this last year I was kind of doing like, okay, they're at this point in the book. Let's say they're writing book. And when I would think they could potentially be done with it. And then I wanted to see if that actually happened.
Yeah.
Spoiler, no. But it was nice to try to plan it out.
for something like that, I would still track that, but I would track it in like pencil. That way I could like still have that visual of what I had planned versus what actually happened. Um, but like the other thing I want to track in this is so June 21st to 23rd. Thank you, JC. That was what it is. Um, but like events, like conventions and stuff, where I could possibly set up eventually a table to sell stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff I want to track as well. Like the town I live in is having every year they have a market day at the school,
Okay.
and then they also have a job fair. And talking to a couple people, it sounds like I could possibly set up a table at one or both events because they don't have at either event. The market day is supposed to be like more about students showcasing stuff they've made for like their own, anyone who's already doing like entrepreneurial stuff and
Okay.
having their own business. But at the same time, because they don't have a lot of students doing it, they also allow local businesses to set up stuff. And so, like, I could set up a table and sell books. It's allowable. So that's the kind of stuff I want to track in this too, is events and conventions and conferences. Conferences is the other one because the conference that I would love to go to, I'm not going to be able to go to this year, just because I don't have the funds. But like, if I start planning now, maybe I can go next year for InkersCon.
Oh yeah.
That it's a digital one, so I don't have to worry about cost of this, like as far as like going places. But the ticket's like $200, and I'm like, I don't have that. I'm just saying. But if I start planning now and I start setting aside like $20 a month between now and then, I could do it.
That's right.
So that's the kind of stuff I want to track, as well as like publishing schedules. Because I would like to start publishing stuff and like staying on track to publish stuff. Is it going to happen? Probably not. It's me we're talking about, but I'm going to try. And yours is big enough that you could get those. You could probably get those page flags.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The page
The
flags.
page flags and use those. That way you can just
Move it. Oh, that's true. Could do that.
and you could have different page flags representing different things. Like for me
Yeah.
personally, if I were going to do that, I would use one color for the conventions, one color for conferences, publications, writing challenges.
When I used to be like really like detailed with the planning and stuff, I would do like anything publishing related. Writing publishing related was purple. Anything like Instagram marketing stuff was pink, and then YouTube was I can never find a red post-it. I mean, come on, I can never find a red post-it in this size.
Yeah.
I used a different color for that one, but yeah, I would do different colors.
I keep making Instagram purple because that's the main color of their little camera icon. And then I'll use, because there's no red, I use pink for YouTube.
Oh, okay. And then when I was trying to make videos for both my travel account and then my author account, that was a lot.
Oh, I believe it.
But since we got here and I was able to put my Kanban board up on the wall, I was having 3 separate Kanban boards. So one for like writing, one for marketing, and one for, I think, like, I don't know what the categories were. It doesn't matter. But it was 3 different categories. But then I was like, there was less on each category board because I didn't have to cram all 3 onto one board. I didn't really, but it sat there from like January. It sat there. I did one in October. I did one in January. And I did one in April and did nothing. I barely looked at it.
Yeah. Kanban boards, I want Kanban boards to work for me so badly. but they just don't. And I think it's partially because of the fact that I don't have a 24/7, 365 days a year dedicated writing space, because like I keep moving from the library to here and back and forth, and yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was.
why I think that trifold board idea.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to try that next year for that reason.
So, in our room is the bed, and then I was right when you go in the bedroom door, there's a wall, and so I had them across the wall, and a bookshelf right here. But the bookshelf is now just piled high with clothes because if the clothes are on the floor, the cat will think she needs to pee on it. Um, and so I've taken one of the poster boards and put it on the wall behind the computer right now. There's 4 sticky notes on it. Outline book 2 after the Shane book. Outline book 3 after the Shane book. Finish fantasy, decide on MC name. Finished fantasy by sketching out a map. Those are my 4 remaining ones on there.
Okay.
They've been on there since January. It was funny. Like you would think I would think I would be more apt to. All right, we're gonna sit here and we're tight because I have an actual desk and blah blah blah. But I don't know. The couch calls my name when I take a nap on it.
My bed's calling my name. I think I need to hop off here soon. Are you going to do the 24-hour novel challenge just out of curiosity? It's the 21st through the 23rd.
I mean,
I'm going to see if I can take off that Friday. I'm probably not going to take off the whole week like I was originally planning to for the 7-day book challenge, because that's the same week as the 7-day book challenge, I think.
I think so too.
I can't remember because I can't remember. Yeah, the 16th, the 22nd, and the 24-hour challenge is the 21st to the 23rd. Well, that's just silly. No, I'm kidding.
So the 7-day book challenge, are you gonna try doing twice a day like you did the last couple of times?
No, because of the fact that I'm going to be working, I'm only going to be doing it once a day, and I have to figure out exactly how I'm going to be doing that because I don't know yet. I don't know yet. The last time when I was doing 2 streams a day, I was able to do that because um, I had taken the week off,
Okay, that's right.
but I'm not taking the week off this time. I might. 20,
I mean, do we want to move it so it's over the same week and so they overlap?
nah.
No.
I mean, they do for the most part overlap because the novel writing challenge is the 21st through the 23rd, and the 7-day book challenge ends on the 22nd.
Okay.
So they just bleed into one another. It's fine. I don't want to do anything on the 23rd because that's a Monday, and that's
So
the start of my new week.
do you have to like sign up somewhere for the challenge, or is it just a?
I'm not certain. I don't know enough about it. I just know that it exists. It's a Twitter thing.
Oh,
I know that much. Hold on, I'll send an exact link. I cannot type. I'm losing my mind.
so I googled 24-hour novel challenge. There's one that's mentioned on Twitter.
Yep,
And there's one that's mentioned on the noveler.org website. And there are different dates. Huh. But you're talking about the 24-hour novel
I was talking
one
about
from
the
Twitter.
Yeah, I was talking about the Twitter one. But hold on,
Okay.
there was one on. Oh, I see the Nobler one. The weekend of the 15th through the 17th. I don't know about that one, and I don't know which one everyone's been talking about. I could not tell you. I think it's the Twitter one.
Have people been talking about it on YouTube or where?
YouTube. Of course, if you ask me which people I've been talking about, I could not tell you. That's not the link to the 24-hour trial. Oh, Jesus crikey. Come on, computer. Work with me. I must not have copied the link. I did not copy the link because I'm not smart. I am really tired, and it's starting to that's because the computer keeps trying to sign me in. I don't want to sign in. I don't have an account. I just want to share things I randomly find, please. There we go. That one's the right one. I double checked before I hit enter. The Noveler one has a Discord. The Twitter one does not. It says join our Discord. I lied. They do. Linktree. There we go. Oh, it is through Noveler. Okay, I don't know why they have different dates.
Huh. Oh,
Unless one has not been updated to the correct date. Like the website
Right.
for Noveler might not be. It might have last year's date still up.
that's true.
Except I'm joining the Discord so I can see. I am being nosy. I want to know. Landing page. I just joined. FAQ announcements. Let's go to announcements. Survey. Did I join the Discord just to find out information?
I did all the time. It's fine.
Plan your 2 weeks to go. That was last year. Okay, that's last year's 24-hour countdown. Challenger updates. I have no idea. I can't find squat. General. The new banner for anyone. This is this year's. Okay, what's this say? 21st through the 23rd. So I'm thinking Noveler, the website for Noveler has last year's dates.
Okay.
'Cause the
Where
21st
are you looking?
on the Discord.
Yes, but where the Discord?
Hold on. I gotta click it again. Somehow I accidentally exited out of it. Under media, under text channels. And they had a new banner. And I was just looking at the banner.
Oh, okay. Got it. I see it.
I do not need to buy a planner when I've already got stickers and make one. Gotta close out all these links. So many links. So many links. Okay. I'm good. Okay. Oh, look, Stephanie joined.
Oh, yes, I did. Add it to my plethora of servers I'm in.
Including the readathon, where we do not talk about readathon. Oh, excuse me. Okay, there we go. I am probably not going to do the 24-hour novel challenge just because, like, the whole idea behind that is to do a full novel.
And
And
we're already
I'm
trying
really-
to do a full one in that week anyway.
But I'm not. I've been working on short stories.
That's true.
So and that's what I mainly want to focus on for the next few months, years, is just short stories and novellas, and kind of take a step back from the novels themselves. So yeah. So I don't think I'm going to attempt the 24. I like the idea. I'll spread the word. I'll keep it on my calendar kind of thing. But I don't think I'm personally going to do it. I love the idea though. 'Cause that's basically what we did with our 12-hour marathon, where we were trying to write a story in 12 hours or more of a story in 12 hours.
Yes. I don't think I finished it, but I did finish it shortly afterwards.
And you did finish
Something.
something. No, not for the.
I did
I'm
stuff.
thinking. I'm thinking the 7-day book challenge. You finished
Oh.
something else.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't originally what you wanted to finish, but you did finish something. So yeah. Okay. All right. I have to get off. It's like 1:30 in the morning. I gotta go figure out if my husband fell asleep at his desk or if he's like coming to bed soon. Because he's got work in like 7 hours. So make sure I didn't miss any comments. No, I think everyone's dipped out except JC. JC is hanging out strong. Go JC.
She's like right or die.
She
Not
is.
ride, but right.
Right. I love it. All right. Do you want to go ahead and do your outro? We'll get out of here and go to beds.
Yes. For anyone that is watching this as a replay all the way to the end, thanks for sticking around. My name is Stephanie. I write small-time romances underneath the name Stephanie Marie Whitsey. You can find my books anywhere and everywhere online, paperbacks, Amazon. They look like this.
You got paperbacks to show off.
Yes. What's I gonna say? Oh yes. So sometimes I make videos. Sometimes I'm doing live streams. I don't have a schedule, so if you want to see more of me, come hang out. And always hang out with Skye because she's a pretty cool person. And I had something cooler to say, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, I do have a Pie in the Sky plan to release a book on July 7th. July 10th. No, hold on. My
Gotta look back at the planner again.
My Pie in the Sky goal, July 7th, which also is the Monday of Shark Week. No, it's not about sharks. It just happened to be that week.
Darn. I need to write down when Shark Week is because I love celebrating Shark Week. What week is that?
It is July 7th. It's the week of July 7th.
Okay.
July 7th is the Monday.
Where are my Post-its at? I don't like this desk. I hate it.
Right
I
here.
hate it so much. I can't.
Here it is, right here. I hand it to you.
Thanks. Totally. Wonka vision. Just take it straight through the camera. All right. And for anyone else still here or watching the replay, if you don't know me, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name Hegyes. I do not have paperbacks to hold up, so I'll just hold up my lovely planners that I'm working with lately, because that's all I got. So, yeah, because all my books are only available as ebooks currently, working on paperbacks. That's a slow-going process because I don't know how to follow through. It's fine. It's all good. Anyways, I post vlogs on Tuesdays, videos on Thursdays, and I live stream on Saturday evenings like this one. So feel free to join us for whatever. And I love having people join.
Skye loves having people join her on screen. So if you ever want to join her, just send her a message. Say, hey, can I come hang out? You can hang out for all of it. You can hang out for part of it. If you want to have sleep, we will not hold it against you.
All of what she just said that I tongue-tied, but yeah. As far as like reaching out for me, the easiest way to reach out for me is Facebook Messenger, Instagram, and Discord, and email. Email is always like the easiest thing because I get notifications straight to my phone every single time. So sometimes I don't get all notifications for the others, but I definitely get notifications for emails. So if anything else, that's the easiest way to get up with me. So yeah, thank you all for joining me. I'm gonna double check, make sure I haven't missed any comments. JC said good night. Always. I would have been here from the very beginning if I had gotten the notification. And yes, you guys are stuck with me. So thank you for joining us. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up here. I'm gonna press the buttons. Sweet.